Hello everybody and welcome to part 4 of the Christmas week special. Welcome to part 6 of What If Izuku Midoriya Was a Werewolf. If you've missed any of the previous parts, there'll be a link in the description below and the invitation above to a playlist. Quick note, if you like this series and want to see it continue, please let me know by either hitting that like button or in the comments below. In the previous episode, Midoriya partook in the UA Sports Festival, managing to get to the final round of the festival. However, he lost against Shinso in the first round of the 1v1 tournament. After the UA Sports Festival, the students are given a couple of days to recover from the events. Midoriya spends this time training as much as he can, venting his frustrations from having lost like he did. After this time passes, Midoriya goes back to school. On the train, someone says, "Hey, you're Midoriya, right, from the sports festival? I was rooting for you." Everyone starts saying, "Yeah, too bad, but that was no way you could have won against the brainwashing kid's strong Quirk." Midoriya is a bit frustrated because of these comments, and they say, "Keep trying, hero." On his way to school from the station, Midoriya is passed by Ida, who is running in the rain. Midoriya follows him, running behind him. Once they get inside, Midoriya puts his umbrella away and says, "Listen, Ida, about what happened, how..." Ida interrupts him and says, "If it's about my brother, it's fine. Everything's gonna be fine." Midoriya says, "Stand back," and shakes the rain he had on him away, like a dog would. Both of them then go to class, where everyone is talking about being recognized because of the sports festival. Mina says, "Everyone wanted to talk to me on my way here." Zero says, "Well, guess what they said to me?" To which someone says, "Good try." Aizawa comes into the class with Asui saying, "Mr. Aizawa, you don't have any bandages anymore." Aizawa answers, "Yeah, the old lady went a little overboard on her treatment. Anyway, we have a big class on hero informatics today." Everyone freaks out at this statement, but Aizawa continues speaking. "You need code names. Time to pick your hero identities." And the class gets super excited. Aizawa instills order and continues. This is really related to the Pro Hero draft picks that I mentioned the last time we were in class together. Normally, students don't have to worry about the draft yet, but this year is different. In fact, by extending offers to first years, pros are investing in your potential. These offers can be rescinded though. Aizawa pushes a button and says, "Here are the totals for those of you who got offers." The screen behind him shows Todoroki 4,123, Bakugo 3,556, Tokoyami 306, Ida 301, etc. Midoriya got 14 offers in this version, because he didn't do that well in the fights. Aizawa says, "In the past years it's been more spread out, but this time there is a significant gap." Jiro says, "Wait, Todoroki got more votes than Bakugo?" Yayorozu congratulates Todoroki, but he just scoffs and says, "It's probably because of my father." Aizawa says, "And now for the code names. They will most likely be temporary, but do take them seriously. They could stick since I'm not good of a judge in this area. Midnight has final say over your names." Midnight then comes into the room and starts judging the names. For this scenario, Midoriya can't think of anything, so ends up choosing the name Wolfie. This is mainly because I can't think of any hero name, so he might change in the future if you guys give me a better suggestion. Midnight says, that name is so cute, go for it." Azuraka says, "Go Midoriya." The other names end up pretty much the same as in the main continuity, with Ida choosing Tenya and Todoroki using Shoto, their real names. The class ends and Aizawa says, "Make sure to hand in your applications before the weekend." Kaminari says, "Wait, we only have 2 days to decide?" Aizawa says, "Yeah, so get it done." Midoriya spends time wondering what agency he is going to go with, mumbling a bit. Tsuyu walks up to him and says, "You're really thinking hard about this." Rocky says, "It'll all work out. I've settled on my pick." Ashido asks, "Already?" And Ojiro asks, "What agency?" Uraraka says, "The agency that the hero Gunhead runs." Midoriya says, "Gunhead is a big brawler though. Are you sure that's where you want to intern, Uraraka?" Uraraka says, "Yep, he sent me an offer." Midoriya says, "I thought you were trying to be a hero kind of like 13. one that focuses on rescue. Uraka says, that's the plan, but after the sports festival, I realized I needed better fighting tactics if I'm going to be a hero. Midoriya then settles on his pick and hands it in. In the teacher's room, Aizawa looks through the students' choices. He sees that Midoriya chose Manuel's agency, Todoroki chose Edshot's agency, and Ida chose Manuel's agency as well. He says, it seems that Midoriya and Ida are going to the same agency. A couple of days later, the students get together at the train station. Aizawa asks, everyone has their costumes, right? Remember, you don't have permission to wear them out in public yet, and don't lose them or anything. Ashido says, gotcha! Aizawa says, speak properly, Ashido. It's yes, sir. Ashido says, yes, sir. Aizawa says, make sure you mind your manners with the other heroes during the internships. Now get to it. The whole class says, yes! Uraka and Midoriya then go talk to Ida, telling him that if he needs help or to talk about anything, they're always available. Ida says, thanks, but everything's fine. Ida then goes towards the train and so does Midoriya. Midoriya realizes he's walking behind and asks, so Ida, who are you interning under? Ida says, under the Pro Hero Manual. Midoriya says, what a coincidence, so am I. Why are you entering under him? Didn't you get any better offers? Ida says, I did, but this one seemed like the best for me. Midoriya thinks, did he choose this because of the hero killer? He was last seen in Hosu, and Manuel operates in Hosu. The two students then go do their internships. And for the next 3 days, they both train together, go on patrol, and learn under the tutelage of Manuel. During this time, the League of Villains also tries to get Stain to join their group. He agrees in principle and returns to Hosu to finish his work before joining them, starting the attack on Hosu. The evening of the third day of the internships, the League of Villains decides to send a Nomu attack to overshadow Stain's work. The invasion of Hosu starts, and Ida uses the confusion to start looking for Stain, while Manuel has to help fight these monsters and keep the citizens safe. After a couple of minutes, Manuel notices that Ida is gone and shouts, Tenya! Tenya, where are you? He goes to Midoriya and who is telling people where to go and asks, Wolfie, have you seen Tenya? Midoriya says, no, I haven't seen him in a couple of minutes. Midoriya then realizes and says, he probably went looking for the hero killer. The Nomu that the heroes were fighting crashes next to Manuel and he says, crap, go find Tenya. I'll help the other heroes deal with this and then go assist you two. Go, now! Midoriya starts running and looking for Ida, deducing where it's most likely that the hero killer would be. On the way, Midoriya picks up Ida's scent and at this point starts running on all fours to go faster. He reaches the alleyway where Ida is just as Stain is about to stab him. Midoriya tries to stop him, but even as fast as he's a bit too slow, Stain stabs Ida in the side. Midoriya punches Stain in the face as strong as he can and goes to Ida's side. He says, Ida, are you okay? Ida coughs and says, what are you doing here, Midoriya? This isn't your fight. Stains backs up from the punch and says, that hurts. Midoriya says, I know I shouldn't be, but like All Might says, meddling where you don't technically have to is the essence of being a hero. Stain smiles as Ida says, always a fanboy, huh? Ida then passes out from the blood loss, making Midoriya think he's dead. Stain's silly, but he wasn't worthy. Unlike you, I will let you live if you leave now. Midoriya, angry and with his eyes going blood red, says no. He turns to Stain with a deadly look in his face, his eyes red as blood. Rage starts filling Midoriya and then he lets out a scream of pain and anguish. Midoriya falls to the ground and Stain asks, what's going on? Are you really that weak-spirited that seeing your friend die will make you give up? Maybe I was wrong. Midoriya starts changing and growing. He becomes bigger and his anatomy seems to change into that of a full-on wolf. Stain grabs his sword and gets into a defensive stance. Midoriya howls and then he charges at Stain, trying to bite him. Stain blocks Midoriya's mouth with his sword, but Midoriya manages to pin Stain down. Midoriya grabs his sword, the sword, throwing it away, and bites into Stain, making him scream out in pain. Stain, summoning as much strength as he can, pushes Midoriya away and gets back up. He realizes he is beaten. He tries to run away, but Midoriya barks at him, shooting out a sonic blast that pushes Stain against the wall of the alleyway. Midoriya then jumps onto Stain and is about to bite his head off, him being knocked unconscious, when he is hit by a gust of water. Manuel shouts, "Stop!" He then sees Ida on the floor and runs to his side, checking his heart rate. Manuel says, "He's alive. Barely. We have to get him to a hospital." Midoriya, realizing that his friend is alright, calms down and turns back into himself, falling unconscious from the strain of the transformation. Manuel asks, "What the heck, Wolfie?" as Midoriya is mostly naked with his suit destroyed. He then looks over and realizes who Midoriya was fighting is the hero killer. Manuel exclaims. He then instructs two other heroes that came with him to restrain Stain and take him to the police station. The attack on Hosu is resolved by Endeavor and an intern from UA who was just passing by Hosu. The next day at the hospital, Midoriya wakes up in pain. He talks to some of the doctors. He has no memories of the previous evening after seeing what happened to Ida. He also asks the doctors where Ida is, and they tell him that he is currently in intensive care. He's weakened, but he's going to survive, and be back in school next week. Midoriya returns to his internship for the remaining days. There he continues to learn all he can until the days of the internship end. Anyway, I do hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button to show me that you want more in this series. Also, if you have any suggestions, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Bye!